Welcome back to our conversation about the media with Northeastern University journalism professor Dan Kennedy. So Dan, one of the biggest stories of this month has been the stunt by some Southern Republican governors of shipping migrants to northern cities in general, but specifically to Martha's Vineyard, designed to show up and expose Democrat/liberal hypocrisy here. What do you think of the way this has been covered? There's been some concern that I've heard about the propagation of the notion that Massachusetts is a sanctuary state, which is not exactly true. What have you made of the way it's been handled?
Well, you know, most of the coverage I've seen has pointed out that Massachusetts is not a sanctuary state, but I suppose there have been a few here and there. You know, my students made a very good point the other day, because I thought that the coverage has been very good, very thorough, and they said they really haven't put it in the larger context of some of these other incidents. For instance, I didn't realize that 50 migrants had been bussed to the door of Vice President Harris's home until one of my students told me. And there's been migrants housed on cruise ships in New York. This has been an ongoing national story, and I don't think people around here and even around the country have really tuned in on it that much until the Martha's Vineyard angle really broke into the national consciousness.
I mean, coverage of the immigration debate, which has been going on as long as I've been around, without a whole hell of a lot of progress, to be honest, often seems to struggle with giving the big picture. I mean, maybe understandably, it's a complicated story with a lot of different facets to it. It's not such an easy black-white kind of story the way that sometimes the media prefers.
I agree. On the other hand, making it seem like this one stunt involving Martha's Vineyard was an isolated incident, I think, is a mistake.
Well, we just have about a minute left here, but I just wanted to get a brief comment from you. You wrote on your blog about a panel discussion in New York recently about objectivity in journalism, the traditional rule, which is that you report both sides, or multiple sides if there are. You seek comment from all different sides. And a panel of journalists was arguing that's in many cases, that's outdated and should be scrapped. What do you make of that?
Well, you know, there's the caricature of objectivity, and then there's actual objectivity. And I think what people object to is not both sides, it's both sidesism, where everything is presented as equal. We're going to let our audience make up their own minds, even though I've spent the time to figure out what's going on. I think actual objectivity is a fair-minded pursuit of the truth. Talking to all sides, finding out what you can find out, and then presenting it. I don't think anybody should have a problem with that. And I'm not sure that the people on this panel would have had a problem with that either. They were really criticizing that caricature of objectivity.
Professor Dan Kennedy at Northeastern, thank you. Always good to talk to you. Too brief, but come back again soon.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for joining us. Right now, it's back over to my colleagues for much more WBZ News.